5 harsh truths about roofing sales that no one tells you. But the shocking part is that almost every single one of us goes through it. For some reason, people don't talk about this stuff because of this broy nature, this competitive drive and this machismo that threads through not only roofing sales, but all sales in general. And people flaunt the cars, the success, their big commission checks. And inside, sometimes we doubt how we are struggling so badly when other people are doing so well. Or we compare ourselves because we saw someone post on Facebook about some monster 32-unit tile roof. Meanwhile, we're struggling to get traction in some small 20-square neighborhood, and we can't get anything sold. So whether you're brand new in this business or a seasoned veteran, I want to share with you the 5 harsh truths that I wish I knew when I got started, so they help you develop a thriving career in roofing sales. Now, the last thing that I want to share is that 2 out of 3 roofing sales reps quit or get fired in their very first year. And it's largely in part to the mental and emotional battlefield that is roofing sales. That's what I'm going to be talking about right now. So if you are in that place right now, questioning this career, maybe you're having a bad day, bad week, or a bad month, this video is for you. I really hope it helps. And hey, be a hero. Share this video with someone on your team, and specifically to the owners and managers. This is the video to share with that person who is this close to calling it quits and giving up. Now let's get started. Roofing sales is personal development in disguise, and the reward for growth is life-changing. I hope my content helps you create a richer life and bank account. Harsh truth number 1, you will wake up depressed and miserable many days and not want to go to work. Roofing sales is unlike many other careers where it's really easy to leave your baggage at home and just go to work and do your thing. In 2011, I was a massage therapist. And I remember if I had a bad day, like I just showed up, I talked to my client for a few minutes, they went down to the table, I did my thing, and I could just pretend I was having an okay day. But in roofing sales, you might have a fight with your significant other. You might be doubting yourself because it's been weeks since your last commission check. And you might have a family member that just got diagnosed with cancer and is going through chemo, and you are totally mentally preoccupied. And it is very difficult to compartmentalize this into off work and then in work because you bring all of this stuff from home to work. And when you do, it poisons your ability to put on your shiny face in sales when someone says, "Hey, how you doing?" And you're like, "Hey, everything's great," when you're really dying inside. So if that happens to you, don't be alarmed. It's totally normal. Harsh truth number 2, that your friends, your family, and even your significant other may doubt you. This is an important one to get into because there's a saying in life that you will only be as successful as your spouse allows you to be or significant other allows you to be. But it goes a little deeper than that because sometimes we need to filter between like the people that doubt you from a bad place. These are the people that don't want you to get ahead because misery loves company. You probably have friends or people in your life like that, that you can't talk about anything positive because then you're just doing well and they're miserable. Those folks, you just need to get out of your life. But then there's other people that could be, again, your friends, your family, and your spouses that say, "Hey, are you really sure you should be doing this?" Like, I'll give you an example. My father, for example, he's one of my absolute biggest fans. He loves me to death and wants absolutely nothing but the best for me. But I do remember looking back when I said, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to get into roofing sales." And by the way, it was in 2011. I took this job off Craigslist. And they said I could make 6 figures or multi-6 figures in my very first year. And I didn't need to have any experience whatsoever. And it's commission only. Now you can imagine him hearing that. He's like, "Are you sure this is legit? Are you sure this is real? Are you sure you should be betting your livelihood on this claim from a company that you met on Craigslist?" So that level of doubt came from a good place of wanting what's best for me. But I also know that being someone who's in roofing sales, and probably you too, you're someone who has a high risk tolerance. If you didn't, you wouldn't be in this career. You know that without risk, there's not great reward. And you know that you're willing to bet on yourself, or as I've said, build the parachute on the way down. But not everyone shares that same level of risk tolerance that you do. So it's important that when people doubt you, you compartmentalize. Are they a toxic person that I need to get rid of? Or do they actually really love me and want what's best, but they just don't quite get it yet? And if that's the case, we need to compartmentalize them and say, "Okay, great. I understand where you're coming from," and then engage with them in dialogue and say, "Hey, I'm doing this thing and here's why." All right. And to some degree, you need to tune both out. I did myself. I had to tune both out and go all in. And when I did, it changed my life, and I will never look back at what life was like before that. But if you don't compartmentalize and understand why and how these people are doubting you, then their seed of doubt gets planted in your mind, and that doubt turns into self-doubt. And if you water this self-doubt, it's a ticking time bomb until you quit or get fired. I talk about this in great detail in my book, by the way, which I'll share more about later. Harsh truth number 3, you will likely be tempted by alcohol and drugs to celebrate the highest of highs and to drown the lowest of lows. It happened to me, and my drinking got the worst when I was in roofing. Now, it's not roofing. We all have to take full responsibility of our action. I take responsibility for mine. But I will tell you that when I was in roofing, I gained 30 pounds and I began to drink every single night. I drank every weekend, and I liked to party as much as I could all weekend, every weekend. And I justified everything. I justified the celebration of the huge commission check coming through. I'll never forget when I had my first commission check that was more money than I used to make in an entire year. I wanted a party. And then at the same time, when I had a customer, the very first customer that screamed at me over the phone, they berated me, they basically verbally abused me and called me a bunch of names. I wanted a drink to drown the stress out of the day. And no matter what you do, you justify it. I gained 30 pounds. I turned into an alcoholic. Now I'm proud to say I'm sober and I haven't had a drink in coming on 6 years. And I'm not implying that everyone who parties is an alcoholic. That's for you to decide, and everyone's on their own journey. But if for any reason that is you, maybe you're someone that wants to get sober, please know that there are other people, countless other people that have gone through what you're going through. And you can turn to the group Roofers in Recovery. It's run by Eric O and other great people. And I highly recommend that resource. So just be mindful of that temptation so you don't slip down the rabbit hole that I did. Harsh truth number 4. You are about to experience a mental and emotional roller coaster unlike anything you've experienced before. You will have the highest of highs, like the greatest sale ever, the biggest victory, the biggest commission check, followed by the lowest of lows. And usually, as they say, when it rains, it pours. It's not one bad thing that'll happen. It's like your truck will get a flat. The largest deal that you sold just got snaked and the person ghosted you and went with a competitor who said they do all this, this, and that and gave away the farm. And at the same time, you got in a fight with your spouse or significant other and something else happens on top of it. So this roller coaster of highs and lows, like in my book, I talk about the life in roofing sales, like strapping yourself to a roller coaster with a faulty switchboard. We just don't know what to expect. So I just got to say, buckle up and embrace the journey because it ain't easy. Harsh truth number 5 is that you will be tempted at some point in your career to jump ship and do anything, absolutely anything else to avoid the misery that you are experiencing right now. I have not talked to one person in roofing sales that at some point in their career said, oh man, I'd be willing to do anything else. By the way, this even goes to owners. They'll say things like this: what I would do to give it all up to just go back to selling for someone else. No liability, make a bunch of money. I can do that. Or to the salesperson that says, hey man, I would give up all of this to just go back to stability, security, and an easier life. But that mindset will poison you because again, in order to achieve something that is abnormal, which is high levels of success, you have to do things that other people aren't willing to do, which is putting up with the mental and emotional roller coaster that is the roofing industry. So there you have it, my friend. Those are the 5 harsh truths that no one tells you, but almost all of us go through. And I hope it helps you navigate the mental and emotional battlefield that is roofing sales. Remember, share this video with someone on your team, and I hope it helps you support them through their journey, because at the end of the day, this industry has the ability to change your life. It did for me and it can for you. And if you're someone that wants even more and you say, hey man, I'm going through a lot right now, then pick up a copy of my book. It's called The Roofing Sales Survival Guide: How to Beat the Odds, Overcome Yourself, and Win Big. And no, it is not a sales tactic book. It is an actual survival guide to navigate the mental and emotional battlefield that is roofing sales. It became a #1 bestseller on Amazon within 24 hours. And no, there's no marketing gimmicks. And there's a reason that so many roofing companies are making this required reading for everyone on their team. They're doing book clubs, and people have even posted on Amazon reviews saying, I feel like this book was written just for me. Why? Because I share my story, but it's not unique. It's your story, and you're going to find it as you read that book. So grab your copy right now, and I truly hope this helps you smash your income goal and give every customer an amazing experience. Hey, thanks for tuning in with me, but just because our time here is about to wrap doesn't mean your and my time has to. So there's one video I want you to watch after this, and it's about conquering your inner demon, that part of you that holds you back from experiencing success. And I lay it all on the line and will help you navigate it. So roll right into it right after this, and I'll see you on the next one.